This disc has had a lot of hype around it, and for good reason. For the first reason, it was Simon Lizotte's first MVP disc, and for the second reason, they signed Simon Lizotte to a $10 million contract, so they gotta pay the man somehow, right? So today what I wanna do is I wanna play 18 holes with a month-old Simon Lizotte HEX, and I wanna see if it lived up to the hype and if it still is living up to the hype. It's beat in, it's got some scuffs and tears into it. It flies a little bit different than when it was a month ago when I first got it and released a video on it, and you can check that out right up here. But I wanna see if it is still living up to the hype. So I'm out here at Bailey Road Park. We're gonna play 18 holes. Grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your wine, whatever you decide to drink, and join me for this little 18-hole journey to see if this is still a good disc. Also, just to note, I'm giving away a Doombird 4, so you can click that video up right here, enter that comment section. I will announce a winner when I hit 1,000 subscribers. As you can see, dead straight, it just flips up and goes left. No matter how much hyzer I put it on, gonna have an approach shot. Now that I'm thinking about what I just did, I very easily and probably should have just gone backhand turnover the entire time. I'm not too great at throwing those, but it would have been better than what I just threw. Little par on one, kind of half expected that, especially with how much this thing flips up. Hole 2 now. This is hole 3. Hole 2 is actually like completely underwater, the green is anyway, so didn't really want to do that. Gonna go Lizottl and probably forehand again, just try and push it out with a little bit less power. Now that thing is beaten in, all it wants to do is just ride left. Not a great start for the forehand by any means. It's definitely touchy, it definitely flips up, but we have a putt regardless of that. That wasn't a putt. That was a, I'm gonna hurt the ground putt. On this hole, usually I like to go spike hyzer over these trees and just have it dump down right by the basket. It's a fun little play, but I definitely think I'm gonna need to do something a little bit different now. Now that this thing is beat in, I've just been barely flicking this thing and it just wants to flip over immediately. So might have to go backhand up the gut and just have it ride right a little bit. Let's see what we can do. There's a little dead straight shot, little slide on up there. Got a little birdie now. Maybe it's just a backhand disc. Finally have a look at birdie. Let's knock it down. Yeah, here we go. Those first 2 holes were just kind of like getting warmed up, right? I hope you guys are still watching. Under the basket. Nice. All right, I think this is a backhand. You've got to be, you see it, right? It's right there. I forgot to hit press record. I recorded the audio, so you know it's not fake, but freaking good shot. I'm still kicking myself that I didn't actually record this tee shot because there's a birdie. That's just unfortunate. So a backhand that ended up 20 feet and then a backhand that ended up under the basket. I'm starting to think that this is turning into a backhand disc. When I first got it, I could flick this any way that I wanted to. It would ride up and then have a nice little fade. Now when I flick it, all it wants to do is just ride left, ride left, ride left, and then just plop. So I'm starting to think that this is becoming a backhand disc, so I might just have to backhand it a little bit more. We're gonna go backhand turnover. Never done it before, we're gonna try it now. We're gonna hit another tree here. That's what we're gonna do. Oh my gosh, how'd that stay in? Everything's changing right now. We're gonna go any forehand. It's gonna ride over to the left. It's gonna hold that line. I don't think it's gonna hold its line enough to where it turns into a cut roller, but it should be down by the basket, hypothetically. Hypothetically, yeah. So now I think would actually be a really good time for me to tell you what my thoughts are on one thing in particular when it comes to this disc, now that it is a month into being used and hitting trees and all that stuff. Let me catch my breath. I forget to breathe while I talk sometimes. The first thing I want to talk about, and yes, it does live up to the hype, is that this thing is durable. This thing has held up perfectly. There are no real scratches or dents into the plastic. MVP plastic, especially the Proton, I think this is absolutely perfect. Like, this has no scuffs or tear on it, just a bunch of dirt and all that. So that is a very big plus. The only downside to it that I see so far is that it does like any disc, beat in and I can't throw it exactly how I want to. So out of the box, this thing was perfect and money for me, but now I'm struggling with it a little bit. Bong! Frickin' A. Let me not make this hole any worse than it already has been. This is usually a pretty fun ace run. I might actually take this outside line and just go on a hyzer. Actually, cap. I'm gonna go uphill and I'm gonna throw this thing on hyzer, and we're gonna figure this thing out right now. Okay, I think I've just gotta come to the conclusion that it's never gonna ride the same that it did when it came out of the box. So it's just gonna ride up, flip up, go dead straight, and just drop. So that's a plus. It actually is a really, really big plus. I just should throw an overstable disc if I want it to do that. See, you talked it out with me. Dang, that kind of went way past the basket. I thought it was a lot closer than this. I just made like this. You were about to call me for a football, and then I put that left foot down. Try and call me out and out. I didn't execute that. Just not good at that shot. We are so back. That thing could be gone. I might have just have to end this video. I didn't put that on any hyzer, guys. That was awful. It just read dead straight, which is what the disc is meant to do, right? But I just need to put it on hyzer, and I'm not gonna be searching over here for 30 minutes in a bunch of thorns. So wish me luck. YouTube time, it'll be 2 seconds. Real time, it'll probably be like 20 minutes. On the surface level, all that looks like it's just dead branches. They're all thorns. I got some battle scars to show you, but I got the only thing that matters, and that's the Lizottl. I'm done finding a disc. Now the second thing that I want to tell you guys about, now that I'm back into the recording mode and I found my beauty, is when I was planning for this video, I originally planned out the 3 points that I really want to tell you guys on how great this disc really is. And while this point is true, I'm starting to not really believe it myself. That was kind of cool, huh? I actually had a YouTube short right in this same exact location. Check it out in the card, top left. Actually make it like I didn't do in the YouTube short. The next thing I want to talk about is the confidence that I have with this disc. I can throw it on any line, know that it's going to hold its line, know that it's going to do really anything that I want it to do. And we all need this disc in our bag, right? I think you know what I'm talking about. You know, whenever we come up to a shot like this, you're like, okay, I could use X, Y, or Z. You're always going to pull out X because you just know that that is the one you're comfortable with. You know you can actually form that shot with. And that's exactly what this disc is for me, or what I thought until I came out here. Because for the longest time when I threw it on forehand, it would just ride dead straight, plop right down. Now when I throw it forehand, it's riding left and literally a really big anhyzer, and then it's gonna just drop down straight. It doesn't even have any fade to it at the end. When I throw a backhand, no matter hyzer, anhyzer, whatever, it just rides dead straight with a little fade at the end. So I gotta learn this disc a little bit more again. That's enough of me rambling. Let's go to this hole. That was a great catch. In no world did I think that was gonna get in. I thought that was gonna spit out. Disc catcher's catch. We're gonna see how much this thing actually flips up. So, oh, it flips up a lot. That is not what it used to be. That's on the other person's fairway. I don't think I can really get a backhand 310 feet, but we're gonna try because we all know how the forehand would go. We're just gonna try and rip this guy all the way down there. That's just all hyzer. That's gonna be a black ace into the practice basket. A little approach shot with the pier. Let me actually flick the pier. I don't do this enough. Yeah, I need to do that more often. Lizottl. gonna have to leave this thing like this and it's just gonna flip all the way up. It's gonna be wild. Hey, yeah, it's flipping. What the frick? Look like Sarah Hokum. Honestly solid for approach shot still. Hole 18 coming up next. This is actually hole 18. The actual hole 18 on the video is coming up next. And we got to talk about one more thing. So I talked about the 3 things that I wanted to go over. The plastic has held up. It flies the way that I want to, and I'm confident with it. The last question is, am I gonna bag the Lizottl HEX 30 days later, a month later? And the answer is yes. And I think I still need to figure out a full power rip behind the forehand, because a full power rip for the backhand right now is absolutely money for me. And that's exactly what we're gonna finish on this next hole. But I just gotta figure out the forehand just a little bit more, play around with it in the field. And honestly, if I need it to finish right, I just pick an overstable mid-range disc. So I am gonna keep this in my bag 30 days later. It's awesome, but I did like it a little bit more when it was brand new. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. This thing is gonna stay in my bag. Is it going to stay in yours? If you've had your Lizottl HEX for the past 30 days or even 15 days, leave a comment down below if you still like it and if you're still bagging it. Let's finish up this video. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got about a 35 footer.